Hey, my name is Nick. Welcome to Roll Coverage. Today, I'm talking about something interesting. Today, I'm talking about why the Carolina Panthers went out and got Petteroa McMillan in the draft. And of course, I got to enunciate it because he's been making sure to correct everybody that's saying it the wrong way. So, let's kick this off.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
Nope.
They roll coverage. Okay, so like I said, there's a very specific way to say his name, and I'm going to butcher it every time. So I'm going to start with that. This is how to say his name.
You say you can say my name, you didn't study it. Let me hear it, man.
Teteroa. That's wrong?
I get
close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough. Close enough.
Say it first then so we can get it.
My name is Teteroa. My name is Teteroa.
Okay, and with that, I just wanted to ask the question because, of course, we're getting ready for the season. We've got a lot of questions, mainly on the defensive side of the ball. But why did Carolina go for the third straight year with a top two, and I say top two, meaning the first two rounds of the draft, top two wide receivers? First, it was Jonathan Mingo, who obviously is now a Dallas Cowboy. Never caught a touchdown for us, which I thought was really kind of odd. Xavier Legette, year two. Hey, man, I'm excited for it, especially now that we've added this guy, Malo McMillan, the third person in that lineage of wide receivers, essentially. But I wanted to ask the question, why did we take him there? Why did we go out of our way to grab a player at a position where we already felt like we got a guy last year? Why did we feel the need to bolster a position that is now being called one of the most versatile? And even Chad Ochocinco is excited about this Carolina Panthers wide receiver core.
I've been high on the Panthers, and I'm only high on the Panthers because of the receiving core. Xavier Legette, Jimmy Horn, T. McMillan, Hunter Winfro,
Thielen.
Adam Thielen.
Yeah, Hunter Winfro been looking good in practice. I've been seeing some of the clips in practice. He been looking good.
I call him put you in a blender. He always been able to put people in a blender. You put him in the right position to make those plays. That's what he does. Very nice. And I said it here first on Nightcap. I'm telling you, when the Panthers transition to being a winning team this year and to be the surprise team of the NFL, I said it first. Keep pounding, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, we don't make decisions based on what Chad Ochocinco is telling us to think. We need to objectively look at this team. Now, I've done a little bit of deep diving into maybe a bit of a telling marker for this Carolina Panthers team. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I went to go look at players since 2000 who have had at least 1,000 receiving yards, more than 100 targets, or both. And after doing some research, it's pretty telling. I'm not going to lie to you. Players to have achieved both: Steve Smith, Mushin Muhammad, Kelvin Benjamin, Greg Olsen, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. Okay? We also have guys who got to the 100 targets mark. And this is where we get to the point where we talk about the guys that got more than 100 receptions, but not more than 1,000 receiving yards. Hedgin Jr., Devin Funchess, and even Steve Smith and Mushin both had seasons where that was the case. Now, what was the most recent one that we had? Obviously, 2022, DJ Moore. 2021, DJ Moore. 2020, DJ Moore. Essentially, it's just DJ Moore. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Obviously, during that time, we also had Robbie Anderson in 2020 alongside DJ Moore, hitting that mark of 1,000 yards and 1,000 targets, or 100 targets. So if that's the case, I think we've had enough time without it. So who on this team can get to that 1,000-yard mark? We obviously thought last year that with the acquisition/drafting, with the draft of Xavier Legette, that he would be that guy. He would be able to immediately step into the role, be close to 1,000-yard receiver, and of course now this year become that X receiver that we thought he would. Instead, we decided to pivot away from the defense with, to be honest, some holes now that we're looking at, especially in the linebacker position. We passed on a guy named Jalon Walker. Now, I am not the biggest Jalon Walker fan, but I do believe he solves the immediate problem that Carolina has now. Would we also be called the best and most diverse wide receiver core if McMillan was not here in Carolina? Probably not. We're definitely confidently fourth in the division when it comes to wide receiver group. But with McMillan, I think we can absolutely ascend to 2 or 3. Number 1's going to be a bit of a challenge for a little bit. But it could absolutely flip. We also have in-division changes happening. The Saints don't have a crazy quarterback nor a great head coach, in my opinion. Kellen Moore is going to be an interesting study down there. I do think that Penix and Drake London and Bijan is going to do well, obviously, in Atlanta. And obviously Tampa has Chris Godwin, Mike Evans on the back nine of their career, but they just got Emeka Egbuka. And of course, they got Bucky since we passed on him. So with that, I think that we are absolutely there competing and everything. But are we the best? If McMillan can be a 1,000-yard receiver, then yeah, we're the best in the division. I think that we have one of the best running opportunities, especially with Jonathan Brooks coming back next year. This year we have ETN, we have Rico Dowdle, we have Chuba Hubbard. We really have pieces all over. I don't think we've truly solidified the offensive line, so I do think this next draft is going to have at least 2 linemen to assist with this offensive and defensive decision that we've been making, not attacking the offensive line. But at the same time, we are going to need somebody to take that 1,000-yard jump, essentially. We're going to need that guy to get 13, 14 touchdowns. We're going to have these guys be fantasy relevant. Yes, and I understand that fantasy relevancy doesn't really translate to wins. I mean, look at the Bengals, to be honest. And if we keep building this way, that's kind of who we're building. We're really hoping that rookies can come in and really affect the defense in a meaningful way. We're hoping guys like Nick Scorton and Princely Uman-Mielen, who again, I love and I'm super excited to have on this team, but that they are going to be able to play at such a high level that we can mitigate so many other problems, I would say. Now, with Nalo McMillan being here in Carolina, with Xavier Legette being in Carolina, with everything happening in Carolina, I think that now is the time where everyone should kind of look back on the previous years and be like, hey, we're finally making it, man. We're finally paying the bills on time. We're finally doing everything right. At least that's what it seems. This is the first offseason that I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit optimistic on. I've been criticized previously for being negative. I don't really feel like that's the case of just being kind of objective and giving my opinion. If my opinion doesn't align with yours, that's okay. But the one thing we can agree on is that McMillan will change things in Carolina for the better or for the worse. If it turns the other way, there's a scenario where McMillan is already getting another quarterback at some point next year. And of course, he's catching balls from Dalton, but I mean a more long-term quarterback. That depends on our quarterback, Bryce Young, another factor in the development of McMillan. So with Dave Canales at the helm, Brad Idzik learning behind Canales, is there an opportunity here for this team to exceed all of our expectations? Absolutely. I could absolutely see a scenario where we're contending for a playoff position. I mean, it's going to be a wild card for sure, but it's all going to be, I guess, looked at a specific way, and that way I feel like is going to be a bit askew. If this team doesn't eclipse the wins that we did last year, which again at 5 wins I feel like is a pretty easy layup, but if we can't, that changes the dichotomy of this team moving forwards. That means Taylor Moton's probably gone. That means we're gonna try and pay Icky, but if we can't pay him everything, man, maybe we explore trades. That will fundamentally shift everything. So this year is truly make or break, not only for the team, but for the wide receivers. McMillan is hoping that this organization finally figured it out and has everything being a cohesive unit. But if not, he could be having a tough year 1, year 2, year 3, struggling on a team that just can't get him the ball enough. Or if they're getting him the ball enough and he is excelling, maybe that's just not the way to more wins in Carolina. But I want to know your thoughts. Is there a reason that you feel like Carolina went 3 years of wide receivers in the first 2 rounds? And do you really feel like it's benefited them? Do you really feel like Xavier Legette changed everything in Carolina? Do you feel like Jonathan Mingo changed anything? And of course, do you think McMillan will be able to help us change anything? I absolutely do, so I have no concerns. But make sure you put your thoughts in the comments and check out my next video tomorrow at 4 p.m. right here on YouTube. My name is Nick. This has been Roll Coverage. Peace.